Well, welcome to tonight's talk, everyone. We're so glad you're here. This is our first event of 2024, and we're excited to kick it off. Another great year at AMA Boston. Um, in the chat, just let us know your name, where you're dialing in from. We love to hear from you. Let you know where you're coming from tonight. My name is Selena Craig. I'm the VP of Programming at the AMA Boston chapter. Like I said, we've got a great talk lined up for you this evening. But before I introduce our speaker, just going to give you a few items that we'll go over. For those of you that are just joining us for the first time and maybe don't know a lot about AMA Boston, I'm just going to give you a quick introduction. AMA Boston is the educational and networking hub for New England marketers. Our mission is to build community of marketers who share experiences, learn about the latest marketing trends, and build a powerful professional network. AMA Boston empowers our members with the knowledge and resources they need to be leaders in their careers and organizations. Some of the members' benefits that we offer are access to member-only content, toolkits, live webinars. There's discounts on national and local AMA events, digital access to AMA journals, which are I've read them. They're fantastic. They're a great learning tool. 30% off some of our content marketing, marketing management, our sales exams, and there's a lot more. There's a lot more resources. So just a little bit about our membership. And of course, if you have any questions, you can reach out to our membership folks if you're interested. So we hope you can join us for our next marketing mingle. This is a time for us to come together and network with your fellow marketers and colleagues. We'll be partnering with Mass Professional Network on February 21st at 6 p.m. at Howl of the Moon. We encourage you to come out, like I said, and come in person and meet some folks. So we hope to see you there. And just a couple of housekeeping items. Please keep yourselves on mute until our Q&A session at the end. If you have any questions at all during the event, please pop them in the chat, and we'll be asking those at the end of the event as well. And then please put your video on. We'd love to see your faces. We understand if you don't, we're often on video all day long, but if you can, that'd be great. And then shortly after the talk, we'll be sending out an event survey. So we'd love to see you fill it out, give us some great feedback to know what you thought of tonight's event, more things that you'd like to see from us. And the slides will be available after our talk, and we'll send those out afterwards as well. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our speaker for this evening. So tonight we are joined by Cory Docken. He's the VP of Business Development at O8 and the president of the Minnesota chapter of the American Marketing Association. He obtained his BFA at Minnesota State in Moorhead and has since garnered extensive experience in marketing, including branding, art direction, and currently business development at O8. So working for a diverse group of industries and clients, we are excited to have Cory here with us this evening to share a wealth of knowledge on how we can look at digital marketing holistically and drive results. So Cory, I will go ahead and pass the mic over to you.
Thanks, Selena. And thank you for not reading that entire bio and doing an abbreviated version. Appreciate that. And I'm going to share my screen. Let me know if you guys see this. We good?
Yeah, I can see it.
All right, sounds good. Once again, thanks everybody for joining tonight, and we're going to talk about holistic digital. Now, one thing I want to point out, there's a little discrepancy in my title. You'll see it's advertised through AMA Boston as a new approach to driving results. The title of mine is an approach to driving results, because that's the big question. Is this new? Some of this has been practiced for a while. Sometimes I use the word new because it may be new to certain digital marketers. So I'm like introducing it. So like the audience we have here today, this might be new to you. It might not. So yeah, but let's get going. And I welcome any additional like insights in the chat. Because this is a collaborative presentation, feel free to add. But we'll have Q&A at the end, as well as an activity if you guys want to hang on. So let's get started. Selena already mentioned who I am. Yeah, second term as president of AMA Minnesota. So I'm based in Minneapolis. I've served on boards before with different marketing associations. The one before AMA, I was with the Healthcare Marketing Association. So that was my first foray into leadership. As Selena mentioned, I was a creative back in the day. For 15 years, I was a designer and art director. I got the fever for sales in my last job, and I was like, you know what? I need a new challenge. And somehow I pivoted my career into the sales realm, and I got my first account executive role. And so I've been doing that now for over 11 years. I enjoy it very much. So yeah, been doing this a long time. As you see in the picture, yes, I do play. I'm in Minnesota, and I play hockey in my pastime, even at my age, just trying to avoid getting injured. But I play for a league called AHA. It's very fun. All right, to start things off, let's just define like what the word holistic means, okay? So here's the formal definition: characterized by comprehension of the parts of something as intimately interconnected and explicable only by reference to the whole. That's a very long explanation. I think most of us know what it means. One way to think about it is like think about our personal health and well-being, or like a holistic lifestyle. So balance. We want to balance our body, mind, and spirit, right? Which we're all trying to practice. So in digital marketing, being holistic involves integrating various channels, strategies, and elements to create a unified and comprehensive approach. It's about understanding that each piece contributes to the overall success of your digital efforts. Now, this presentation is going to get a little technical, but it's not going to get too technical. Okay, that's another disclaimer for everybody. Because if we were going to get super technical about everything, this would be like a 3-hour presentation. We're going to try to keep this to about, I don't know, probably under 30 minutes with our activity at the end. So in the context of digital marketing, a holistic approach means considering all aspects and elements as interconnected and integral parts of a whole. It involves looking at the bigger picture rather than focusing on individual pieces in isolation. Hence the model that you see before you here. And we're going to be seeing this throughout the presentation because that's what I use to illustrate the concept. And the 3 pieces include SEO plus, we're going to call it, because we want to keep our acronyms going, UX or user experience, and CRO, which is conversion rate optimization. My goal is to answer these questions, through this approach. What good is a high converting website without any traffic to it? And what good is a beautifully designed website that's confusing and unintuitive for its users? What good is more web traffic if it doesn't even convert? Meaning people aren't doing what we want them to do on the website. So by implementing this holistic approach, we're hoping to answer all these. And let me preface, probably a lot of people know this, goes without saying, data is the backbone of any successful digital marketing strategy. It provides insights into user behavior, preferences, and trends. Now, to leverage a holistic approach, goes without saying you'll need to gather and analyze data from various sources. This will lead to informed decision-making and better results. But let's also discuss maybe the benefits. Why are we even talking about this in the first place? Okay, well, taking a holistic approach, it's proven to boost ROI, or return on investment. Okay, breaks down the walls between sales, marketing, client experience, as well as the traffic you're driving, your UX and CRO. It's aligning efforts for optimized conversions and maximized revenue. That's what we're trying to do here. We're also trying to amplify customer loyalty. This approach has been known to nurture genuine connections that go beyond transactions, building brand advocates who will tell your story. We do it to gain a competitive edge, to break free from the clutter with a unified voice and consistent experiences that'll make your brand unforgettable. And lastly, going back to data, we want to unlock data-driven insights through this approach, okay? Understand what resonates, what converts, and what falls flat, which will fuel smarter strategies and continuous improvement. So referring back to our holistic model, remember the 3 circles? You'll see it again, don't worry. We refer to the tactics of driving traffic to your website as SEO plus. We say SEO plus because, as we all know, there's so many ways to drive traffic to your website, right? And driving traffic to your website is crucial for success, of course. We're all familiar with the various digital tactics. It can include content marketing, social media, paid advertising, and then, of course, SEO. And mind you, I'm just talking digital here. We're not even think of all the traditional ways that may exist as well, you know. But in this case, we're just focused on digital. So for SEO in particular, keyword strategy and relevance can significantly impact your UX and CRO. And we'll get further into that as we discuss the other components of the model. All right, so let it be known and assume that before executing on any tactics, you have to have strategy in place. A strategy is your roadmap for success. It provides direction, purpose, and a clear path to achieving your marketing goals. Once again, we could do a whole nother presentation just on strategy alone. This slide just prefaces that have a strategy in place. I'm a big proponent of strategy. When people just jump straight into tactics, you know, I'm a pretty nice guy, but that's when I get cranky. Like that's just a waste of time to me to be jumping to tactics without any plan or strategy in place. Okay. All right. So your strategy is in place. And just to elaborate on strategy a little bit, there's different components to a digital strategy. Of course, there's, you know, high level, there's your audience and goals. This is one way to look at it from like just a purely like inbound perspective. If you're trying to drive like inbound leads, it's a process where you align, engage, convert, grow, and scale. So you can see on the left, it's all about our brand story, our understanding our audience, those personas, you know, who are these people? What keeps them up at night? And then the measurement strategy, what are the KPIs we're measuring? And then how are we going to engage? You know, what are those magnets we're going to create that are going to attract those leads? What's the content? The content's got to resonate to our personas. That translates into our UX. I'm not going to go into everything here. I think everyone gets it, but this is one way to look at one part of a strategy. So let's move on to the next component of the model, which is user experience. User experience or UX is a critical aspect of digital marketing. It encompasses the overall experience a user has when interacting with your website, app, or digital product, landing page. A holistic approach ensures that every touch point contributes to a positive and seamless user journey. When I think of UX, I think of journey maps that we can create, customer journey maps, the wireframing we do when we're developing web pages, ultimately the UI or user interface on your website. You know, if you have, here's the activity that we're going to do at the end of this. Selena and I came up with this earlier today. If there's websites out there that you feel like are good case studies in UX, like maybe they're like really bad, put them in the chat. And at the end of this call, we're going to have a group critique. Okay. And we're gonna point out the UX issues together. Okay. Kind of a fun, spontaneous activity. I'll get it started because I got a couple good ones to share. But put your bad websites. It could be any kind of company. We're not talking strategy or tactics. We're just looking at purely UX. So that is the activity we have. All right, so we have our strategy in place. We know our goals. We know our audience. We have the right tactics in place. We have the traffic. Now we need to make sure the visitors are doing what we want them to do on our website and or landing pages. How do we know? And then how can we improve on this UX? One way to do it is the use of a tool called Hotjar. Hotjar is a comprehensive tool that helps understand and optimize the UX on your website. Some websites already have it included on the back end. By leveraging the various features, you can make data-driven decisions to enhance usability and increase conversions, and ultimately improve the overall performance of your website. It allows you to visually understand how users interact with your website. It provides heat maps and shows where users click, move, and scroll. This visual representation will help identify popular and overlooked areas of your site. We have a UX guy on our team he's almost like it's like he's looking at a radiology scan or something. It's all he does is like analyze sites. He watches screen recordings of individual user sessions. I mean, it's just invaluable for gaining a firsthand understanding of how users navigate your site, where they encounter issues, but also like what elements capture their attention. And there's other tools behind Hotjar as well. I'm just mentioning one. And of course, I'm going to mention AI. You can't get out of a marketing presentation these days without some kind of AI something. But there is an AI tool we use in UX. It's like Hotjar, but instead of real user behavior, it's AI driven. So Fengway is another tool. So it uses AI to simulate human vision and provide insights into how people might perceive visual elements on a website. Like Hotjar, Fengway generates heat maps that simulate where users are likely to focus their attention when viewing a web page. Just like Hotjar, this analysis helps us understand which areas of your design are more likely to capture user attention and engagement. It's it provides like a first glance report that simulates the initial visual impression a user might have when landing on your website. I mean, it can be valuable for optimizing key elements, but it's important to note that you should use this in conjunction with other testing methods. Just like you're using AI for anything else. It's just another thing to add to your research and get more insights. Additionally, interpreting the results within a creative and user-centric mindset is key to implementing effective design changes. So that's Fengway. So back to our model. We've observed that SEO and your digital marketing tactics impact user experience, which is your page layout and your content strategy. So we need to ask, does the design now serve the search of the users? Can they find what they need? One thing to note, if they don't find what they need, guess what? They will bounce. And when they bounce, what happens? It decreases your Google ranking. So we definitely want to avoid that. That goes against all the SEO efforts that we have in place, right? Last but not least, let's talk about CRO, or conversion rate optimization. Conversion rate optimization focuses on enhancing the percentage of website visitors who take a desired action. So whether it's making a purchase, filling out a form, or signing up for something, CRO ensures that your digital assets are optimized for maximum conversions. To enhance CRO, it's highly recommended that you leverage third-party tools. One such tool is Optimizely. Optimizely serves as a robust experimentation platform, enabling A/B testing and personalization for better website conversions. Okay. To implement this, you need to license it. You need to install its tracking code on your site, allowing the platform to track user interactions during experiments. You can define specific conversion goals, create experiments. It's got a dashboard using A/B, multivariate, or split URL tests, and design variations using a visual editor, which is really handy. You can specify target audience segments and set clear experiment objectives aligned with your conversion goals. You launch the experiment, monitor in real-time results, and identify variations showing significant improvements in your conversion rates. Of course, while considering all the other metrics. You can evaluate statistical significance and implement winning variations on your live website. So that's just one tool you can use for CRO. There's definitely others. If you did a Google search, probably fill your whole screen. These are some of the top ones I've seen out there. I know VWO is a direct competitor to Optimizely. They seem to go head to head. But I encourage you to research and test to leverage what's right for you. I think the main point is that A/B testing is important to see what is converting, and there are third-party tools to help you do that. All right, so optimizing conversion rates relies on the comprehension understanding of your audience, who you're sending the site, coupled with a high-quality UX, so they can find what they need. And then CRO is inherently linked to fostering good user experiences, emphasizing the enhancement of desired user interactions and outcomes. The key lies in commitment to continuous improvement through constant A/B testing. Okay, to effectively implement CRO strategies, it's imperative to grasp the mindset and goals of the target audience, ensuring a tailored approach that resonates with their needs and preferences. Now, the connection between SEO keyword strategy and relevance plays a crucial role towards impacting CRO. Now, it's essential to ensure that your chosen keywords align seamlessly with the user intent. When formulating your SEO strategy, consider who the target audience is for the page and what they are specifically seeking. By understanding these aspects, you can optimize your content and ensure that the conversion process serves the needs and expectations of your audience. In essence, the synergy between SEO keywords and user intent is pivotal for a successful CRO strategy. Now let's bring all the pieces together, right, for our holistic view, like we mentioned. We discussed the three areas. We have our model, the SEO plus, UX, and CRO. I'm going to introduce another acronym. At the center, where these three elements meet, this is where the magic happens. Now, at our agency, we have a specific term for it. You might not see this anywhere else, but we call it DIOs, which means Digital Integrity Optimization. And it's what we're always striving for when we're working on a client's digital efforts. So that's proprietary to us. You might not see that, but that's where the magic is right there. And it's what's achieved by taking a holistic approach. All right, so I've said a lot so far. I'm going to talk about how you can even get started doing this. I've tried to break this down in simple terms as well. And I've broken it down by simply you review, you plan, and you iterate when you're taking a holistic approach. Step one is review. You could even call this discovery. At our agency, we say review, but it's reviewing and gathering all the info that you can. Reviewing your competitors is key. Where do you stand? I love the tool SpyFu for that. I don't know if anyone else I use SpyFu all the time. I spy on other people's websites to see what their traffic and what um, their paid media is, and their also their keywords. Um, your UX research, remember the heat maps, even the AI tools. You're looking, you're understanding what users are doing on the site. You're preparing for those A/B tests, preparing design variations. You're reviewing analytics from paid and organic traffic. Just the key thing is measure what's important to your users and analyze the data to redesign and re-engineer your digital marketing ecosystem for optimal success. This review work, it informs everything else you do from here, which is the next phase, which is just to plan or strategize. Define a clear and defined strategy, like we mentioned earlier. Understand your audiences, establish those personas, identify your KPIs, key performance indicators, and then just develop specific actionable steps to achieve growth. Make sure that the whole thing is develop a data-backed prioritized plan of action, and then plan to improve those KPIs. And then lastly, this is where we iterate. This is where we get things in motion, and we're going to boost REI through just continuous improvement. It has to happen continuously, improving your UX monitoring and improving, first implementing your UX improvements, optimizing your content, reviewing the traffic, reviewing your analytics, and repeat. Incremental improvements can save you from exponential losses. We just need to continuously monitor and improve based on your findings. And let's not forget, like I mentioned earlier, data is our backbone of any successful digital marketing. Of course, we have our Google Analytics, assuming all our content is tagged using Google Tag Manager, right? I'm a big proponent of custom dashboards. What was Google Data Studio a few years ago is now Looker Studio. This is where you can create custom dashboards, bringing together multiple data points, and you can create a comprehensive view specific to your needs. I work with a lot of marketing managers, marketing directors who have to report up to leadership, and they love it because they can create these custom dashboards that they can share with their leadership and actually show hey, marketing is actually doing something here. Make it clearly communicate to them the results of their marketing efforts. And of course, there's a myriad of others. Even platforms like HubSpot have great analytic tools and dashboards. And then you can get even more sophisticated into data visualization and use tools like Tableau. All right, so let's take everything I've talked about so far, and I'm going to show a simple case study here of this holistic view in action. And this particular client is they're a healthcare client. They're not a big health system. They're a women's imaging clinic in the Twin Cities here, division of a larger radiology company, but they're a alternative to using health system resources for imaging. So they do breast imaging and diagnostic services, so think like mammograms and such. So they're just they're trying to drive appointments, trying to drive awareness and of the services and appointments to actually this one location, and it's in Edina, Minnesota. So our approach, we break it down into 3 areas: SEO plus, our digital marketing tactics, UX, their website, and then the conversion part. So of course it started with discovery, understanding their local audience here, confirming the messaging, which is all part of our strategy. They already had great content in place because this particular company is actually owned by, there's 90 partners. They're all radiologists, so they all contribute content. So great, they had great patient education already in place that we could leverage. That really positioned them as thought leaders. So we took SEO as the main focus, did a competitive audit, we did keyword research, we did schema work. So Google knows how, those question boxes that you see on Google. We implemented paid ads, Google ads, to drive traffic. Then we also saw, their website needed some help. Hadn't been touched in, I don't know, 10 years or so. They just kind of let it sit. So we did a redesign. We improved the UX. Of course, we understood what users were doing before we did that redesign, and based our design decisions off that. There's some technical things too, because they're in healthcare, we had to like lock down their forums and all that. So, but yeah, for CRO, we continue to improve the site. So this is a client that, we just like, it's that like they're on a retainer. So they're using us like every month. And the whole purpose of the engagement is just to keep improving on the website and keep driving traffic to keep those appointments going. They didn't have Hotjar, so of course we installed that. We're using that. But no, it's a continuous project. I can share, like at the beginning, they had very high ad costs. They had a spike in traffic when they did advertising. We started working with them right around this point right here, if you guys can see that, right during the downward trend. That's when they had to like offboard their current agency, and we came in and did that discovery work and implemented the holistic approach. And based on that, we saw results right away, and we continue to see results with them. And we brought their ad costs down because we're targeting the right people. We're not, there's only specific people that are supposed to see those ads. All right, I'm going to wrap this up, and then we can get to Q&A and the other activity. All right, so what we covered: SEO, UX, and CRO all have an effect on each other. And I hope I've communicated that clearly. They're interconnected. Any organization can think holistically. It may require investment and in time and talent if you're going to do it internally. You don't have to do it all yourself, though. There are resources out there. There's fractional resources. There's agencies, of course. But it is an effort it is a coordination effort to bring all of them together. And that is it. So we can open it up to Q&A, and I'll do my best to answer questions. I'll stop the share here too.
Yeah, if you have questions, pop them in the chat, or feel free to unmute yourself and ask Cory directly.
So Cory, I do have a quick question about AI. And one of it is around the whole conversation between SEO and AI and how it affects rankings now. So how much do you think AI is already affected in some ways, but how much do you think the big companies such as Google and Bing will do to prevent people from just using AI in terms of their copy and SEO, or do you think they will eventually accept it and they'll be integrated into these big search engines?
No, that's a good question, and I wish I had the answer for it. it's hard to say where it's going to go. I do know that what I'm seeing is content management systems. Like think of the CMSs that you could build a website on. HubSpot has one. Even some of these DXP platforms like Acquia, they're building AI right into their back ends so that when you're building a site, you can develop content and keywords right in the website. They're all over it. They want to get a piece of it. I mean, that's a trend I see happening. In fact, I was on the radio earlier this week. I was on the radio Monday, on Minnesota Public Radio talking about AI tools in marketing. And I was able to talk about how it affects marketers and all the tools we're using for content and UX and like other things. But like, yeah, in terms of like how Google and like the big dogs are gonna what they're gonna do with it in the future, yeah, it's hard to say. I can't answer it, but if anyone else on the call wants to add to that, feel free. Well, I see there's some questions in the chat here too. And we can just hit those. What is your process for deciding which tools to use for these various functions? It's research and test tools. There's so many. I mean, you try before you buy and see what works best for you. I know at our agency, we're all about tools. Like I had to do a spreadsheet just to like try to remember all the different tools we use. But we do, I'd say try and test. Do you think building a website from scratch versus from a CMS builder impacts SEO? I mean, at our agency, we do our fair share of websites. I always recommend building on a content management system. I remember, in our earlier career, building custom sites on like with just straight HTML, leveraging purely developers. With a CMS, and there's so many. There's open source, there's proprietary. Could have a whole presentation just on that, but always build on a CMS. And then a lot of those CMSs have keyword functionality built right into them that you have control on, that you can monitor. Yeah. Did I miss any other questions?
Yeah, we just had one come in from Miriam. What's something your clients are asking about for 2024? AI cookie changes, question mark.
They're not asking. Oh, it's a long question. I would say they're not coming to us asking for oh, hey Brian. I'd say they're not coming to us asking specifically for like AI. I mean, our clients come to us asking, they have a marketing challenge, and that maybe they've got big goals to hit. They don't have enough leads. They don't have enough people on staff to accomplish everything. Don't really have anyone come and asking us for AI. We'll inform clients that we use AI to be more productive. We'll use it as like a sounding board when developing content. Well, yeah, we're pretty transparent about like the tools that we use, like the UX one, like I mentioned, the Fungway tool. I don't know if I'm answering the question. Let me see. Let me look at this. What's from John? John, do you want to elaborate on this?
Sure, Cory, thanks. Good presentation. I mean, as an SEO, I think we always have to think about the quality of the content. And, someone had asked the question about what is AI doing to content and how is it going to affect things. I think what we have to look at is whether it's going to improve the content or it's going to make it worse. So if you use an AI content generation tool and the quality is bad, then Google's going to see it and it's going to kick you out. But even if you just use it at the level of research where you're trying to figure out what you should write about, and a lot of the AI generative AI tools that are out there have tools like that. Phrase.io comes to mind, actually. Then that helps the writer know what they need to write about, and they can, you can press a button within 10 minutes and have a great brief. And even if the writer doesn't use the AI tool to generate the content, if they understand what they need to write about, then it's going to be a better article. So AI, depending where you're using it in the process of content generation, can certainly improve it and also make sure that the quality of the content is better and not get you kicked out of Google. So that's kind of what I'd say.
Yep. Well said. Thank you for elaborating on that. Any other questions? Did anyone have any like bad websites to share?
Corey, I think I have one that you may like.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put in the I'm a big soccer fan and I actually have season tickets to them, so no no hate on the actual team because I love them, but I do their website's a little challenging to look at and navigate.
All right. So I'm trying to pull up the chat here. So I'm going to bring it up on my screen so we can look at it together. So you're a fan of this team. Huh.
Yeah, women's soccer league. It's amazing.
And this is their homepage. They go right to the schedule.
Yes, it also probably corresponds because the schedule did come out today, so that's probably why.
Okay.
It's a little rough.
Well, there is a call to action right here, right? Season ticket membership on sale now.
True. Do you think it's in a weird position? Nope.
Kind of.
Yeah.
You know, so some of the things that I do when analyzing the UX is first I check, to see if it's responsive. This looks like it's responsive. I check to see what it's built on, and I use a tool called Wappleizer. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's a Chrome extension. But you can see an overview of the tech stack that the site is built on. This one I can't really tell what the CMS is. It might be a proprietary. Oh, Ruby on Rails. Okay, I haven't heard that in a while. That's actually some older tech, I think. And yeah, I see some head nods. It is, sure is. But yeah, they're using HubSpot, which is great. Back to the UX.
They built it in Unbounce. It was one of the ones that was listed.
Oh, so it's just like a landing page kind of thing.
I guess they're using it for more than that, but their page builder is Unbounce.
Interesting. Okay. Which to me is Unbounce is just a landing page builder, but yeah, maybe you could build a whole site on it. Maybe. Let's see where the call to action takes us. Oh, buy now. Buy now. Okay, this site isn't too bad. You guys want to see what I was looking for really bad sites. Okay. So I'm going to show an example of a really bad site. Okay. Which to me is like starting from ground zero. And this is not a corporation. This is where we got our dog. Okay. And our dog is 12 years old. And this is what the website looked like 12 years ago. But for some reason, I'm just like fascinated by this website. I mean, it's an older couple in rural Minnesota, and they sell a lot of dogs through this thing. And in terms of technology, it's a hard-coded site built on .NET. I know that. So someone over there is coding this. I know it's not responsive. I know it's not secure. See this? They don't have the security plugins. Those are all things we need to watch out for. I'm not even going to start on the design because that could be a whole semester in branding and color and font usage and art direction. But they sell a lot of dogs through this. I'm trying to think what else I was going to say about this. The call to action. Call to action is, how do I get a dog? So if I were to consult with them, that's one of the things we definitely talk about. How do you think we can get a dog here? Okay, we go to contact, right? Okay, they got the good old Yahoo address going. Shoot them an email. Pretty simple. Does anyone have a site like this handy we can look at together? Okay. If you don't, I'm going to show another one like a next level up.
Alan shared one in the chat.
Okay, here we go. Alan, can you tell us about this website?
Sure. So this is a local comic book retailer that's been around for like 3 decades or something. This website has looked the same since I was in high school. I have always found it incredibly overwhelming, both the colors and the layout. At least it seems like it's mobile optimized, like it can center to the middle of your phone, but I don't know how to find anything I'm looking for is the immediate problem. Also, the color is just loud. It's just intense.
Their site is secure. That's good. They know how to do their security plugins. .NET. So that means it's IBM. Someone's coding it. Not responsive because you said it's the same since you were in high school, right?
Yep.
This is one of the tools I mentioned called SpyFu, where we can get an external view of their analytics. So just from let's just see what kind of traffic they're driving here. Pretty low traffic. I mean, this is a small local business, right? We got 25 visitors. Looks like they had a spike in January here though. But no paid keywords. Interesting. So what do you think is the main call to action here? What do they want us to do? Join their list? I mean, that's right there. Seems like they're trying to join a mailing list.
Yeah, it's a mailing list and a cash-in program, letting you know what services they offer, but there's just so many links.
Thanks for sharing this one. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Okay, we got another one. Oh, wow. Okay, not secure. Victoria, you want to tell us about this one?
Hi, yeah, it's a very good restaurant, not a great website. There's definitely a lot going on. I'm not really sure if there's not really a good CTA either. That looks like a Microsoft Word doc.
I think we lost Cory for a sec.
Oh no, my website froze him. I didn't know it was that bad.
Oh, we're back. You're muted, sir.
I got bumped there. Did you guys lose me?
Just for a minute, yeah.
Okay, might have been my connection there. Anyways, once again, trying to figure out what do they want us to do? Or is it just awareness? You know? Doesn't look like you can make reservations. Anyways, thank you for sharing, you guys. I hope I feel like this activity, it's kind of fun. We've done it in our chapter. We gain a few insights. It's just kind of fun to do. I don't know if anyone else added anything else, but
Did you want to go through our website, Cory? Our own AMA website? Take a look at it real quick.
that means we'd have to probably go through the AMA Minnesota one too, which has its own challenges.
Just kidding. We just moved over to an agency that's going to help us make some changes and updates. So it's
Okay,
in
nice.
better shape.
That's awesome. We have an agency that is a sponsor, so it's an in-kind sponsor that's helping with ours. They just moved it over from their proprietary CMS to WordPress. So yeah, that was my presentation, you guys. I hope it made sense. I know the slides are available. But if anyone ever has questions, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn or through email.
Thanks, Cory. That was such a great talk. Learned a lot of interesting tools that we can use and some fun websites. That was a fun interactive activity. So thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and just share the survey in the chat. If you don't mind, just take a quick look at that for those that joined. Thanks again, Cory. We hope to see you at more events, everyone. So have a great night.
All right. Thanks, everybody.